We want to start today's show with our condolences to the friends and family of Andrew Hammond, a passionate Ipswich fan who has very sadly passed away. As a group of three men, we think it's important to highlight that we must talk and we must listen, and that you're never alone. It's important, isn't it, Rich, that everyone knows that they're never alone.
Yeah, look, it's really sad. I didn't personally know Andrew, but I knew of his face from, I stumbled across a picture, Luke, of it was Norwich away in the playoffs in 2015, and he's just in front of me. I'd always speak to him if I'd see him. I thought it was a really nice touch from the club yesterday to have the flowers in his hat on his seat. But yeah, look, really sad. I mean, it's a really tough time around Christmas for people. I mean, everyone thinks it's a happy time, but there's a lot of people out there struggling. And there's a lot of people out there that think they're on their own and they're alone, but they really need to talk to people, talk to friends. And there's a lot of people out there that can help people. If anyone's struggling, Samaritan's Mind, there's a whole list of them. So if you're really struggling, just talk to people, because it's so important as a male, because it's something that sometimes we don't do enough of.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure you echo that, Ian, don't you?
Yeah, and I just think that at this time of year, a lot of people are on social media. There's lots of banter on forums. Just try to be a nice person sometimes. You don't know what other people are going through. An off-the-cuff remark on social media sometimes can generate a lot of attention that maybe someone doesn't need. So again, just think, what are you putting on social media? What are you saying about somebody? Before, we don't want it to escalate until it's in a position where you can't do anything about it.
Definitely. Well said, boys. Well said. Let's talk about the Sheffield Wednesday game. Then it was again a bit of a strange game. It was a bit of a stumbling victory, wasn't it, Rich?
It's a tough watch. I think one of my friends said it was a little bit like Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul. Where you're looking for that knockout blow. We were obviously a better side than Sheffield Wednesday, but I thought I'll give them a little bit of credit, Luke, because I thought first, I'll give credit to the fans because I thought they were top class. The team struggling at the bottom on minus points. They filled the away end. I thought they were great. And really, I think they could have easily scored the first goal. Dara O'Shea, right? I think he has some really good games, Luke, and then he has some games where I think it becomes too easy. He's played against Ronaldo for the Republic of Ireland, didn't he? And they kept a clean sheet, and he can obviously play at Premier League level, but I think sometimes it's just them lapses of concentration. We'll see that in the first half. There was literally no danger at all. He took a really poor touch, and I think it was Jamal Lowe was through, and he done everything right, and Kipre got him out of jail. But I thought we really lacked intensity. I thought the atmosphere was really, really flat. But look, it is an important 3 points. You need to look at the whole game as a picture, and sometimes you're not going to play that well. But yeah, look, it was hard work, and it was pretty hard watch, especially the first half, wasn't it?
Yes. First half, particularly. You're right about O'Shea. Sometimes it's that little lapse of concentration. We utilise our centre backs a lot in possession, don't we? That's a big part of our game, and I think sometimes he takes quite a long time on the ball. I'd like to see him move the ball a bit quicker, and then he might not get them sort of things where he gets a little bit stuck under possession. But yeah, it was definitely a difficult watch, especially first half. Ian, it showed that even though we won the game, there's still a lot to improve.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a game that you've maybe had a couple of weeks off for a cup match or an international break. A couple of players have been away, and it's all a little bit rusty, and it shouldn't be at this stage of the season. We should be now in full flow, getting good relationships across the team, people knowing instinctively where people are going to be, and we shouldn't have, these passes going astray like they are. We will always play it out from the back, and people have got to get used to that. But yeah, it just maybe picking up the pace up front might kind of take a bit of the pressure off the back, because I guess when O'Shea's bringing the ball out, there's not a lot of movement in our front four, shall we say, the attacking midfield and the striker. Fairly static at times, doesn't give you a lot of options. But again, that said, it seems that when it comes to options, again, looking at Dara, he tends to always go for that long diagonal left ball. Doesn't seem to favour just laying it off to the right to Furlong at times, which again, keep possession, don't lose possession, and try again later. But it's 3 points, and I guess we're third in the table, so we shouldn't maybe grumble too much. It's just we just know what we're capable of.
Yeah, definitely. We will talk about obviously about the positive side of things, the goals and the position in the table, etc. But it was difficult first half. It was a bit of lots of stoppages. Obviously, Hurst comes off injured. Hopefully, that's not too serious. Brings Azon on, and I don't know. Part of me was thinking, right, this is now. Let's see what McKenna does. If he brings Azon on, obviously he's dead set that's who his replacement for Hurst is. Or if he brings Apon on, does he then think he can play as a 9? Apon's didn't come on in that moment. So it makes you think that McKenna still doesn't see Apon as a 9. He obviously sees him as a 10, but obviously, as we all said, he doesn't play our type of 10. So there's a question mark there. It was a bit of a stop-start first half, but obviously Kipperay, I think we need to talk about him. He, as you mentioned, Rich, he clears one off the line and then bullet header at the other end. It was a good goal, and I think let's talk about him in general. I think he's keeping obviously Greaves out the team. He's been really good since he's come in.
Yeah, like a few games ago, I think we spoke about this. He seemed he wasn't really sure about that left centre back. Greaves would play. He played quite well. I think that was Hull was his last appearance, and he played well that night. And Town kept a clean sheet. But I think you can't really criticise McKenna on this one, Luke, because I think Kipperay's been excellent. If anything, he's been the better of the two centre halves. I think he's he's obviously strong and physical, and he's played in this league before for West Brom, so he knows what it's all about. But he looks quite comfortable on the ball. Wins every header. Great header. I mean, if you watch it, he just bullies them, doesn't he? He's there, and he's gonna make that ball his. Nice to score from a corner, because we don't score that many goals from the set pieces. And it was an important time in the game, because you need that first goal. It was important yesterday that we got it, and then it settles everyone down, doesn't it? But look, penny for Greaves' thoughts. He's going to play in the cup game in a few weeks against Blackpool, but I don't see any time soon that he's going to get his place back in the team. Look, if there's an injury, he obviously will. But at the minute, you've just got to bide your time on the bench. Kipperay's got the shirt, and if he keeps playing the way he does, I don't see Greaves getting his place back.
Yeah, it comes down to attitude, though, doesn't it, from Greaves? I mean, McKenna, Mark Ashton always comes out and says one of the first things we look for in a player joining the club is a good attitude, and I'm sure Greaves has that. He's going to work hard. He's going to try his best to get into the starting lineup. But it's a squad game. Everyone's going to be needed at sort of parts of the season. So I'm sure he's got his head screwed on right, and it's going to be he can sort of try and work his way back into the team. Let's talk about the two J goals from the left hand side, Jayden and Jack. Firstly, Lowy, and Jayden's overhead bicycle kick, that would have been special.
It would have been, but what made me laugh, there were people criticising his first touch. I mean, he sprung the ball up and took that overhead kick, and he hit it really, really well. It just hit the post. So I don't know how people can complain about his first touch. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah, I guess maybe if he'd have just tried a conventional shot, might have actually gone in. But it would have been a really good goal. And we know what Jayden's like. He likes the skills. He likes the flicks. And again, with the Jack Clark goal, that almost was fluffed, but he managed to get a little bit of a toe poke. So, and that shows the strength there of having this sub. And as we mentioned about players like Greaves on the bench, you've got Clark is on the bench. And they've just got to be happy, that they're in the squad and they'll get their opportunity and, just kind of keep biding your time. And remember, it's a squad effort, not a single team of 11. Yeah,
definitely. It's like you mentioned, Rich. 3 points. We're up to third. There is a lot to be optimistic and positive about. We don't want this show to all be doom and gloom. We obviously have to see it how we see it and highlight some issues. But coming into now the end of the calendar year, sitting in third place at the halfway sort of point of the season, it's pretty decent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've done the show, didn't we, against Oxford, and we're all a little bit doom and gloom, and then there was Blackburn in there, and it just shows that I think the quality in the league looks not that high. But it's all about now. We're 5 behind Borough. They obviously lost yesterday to Bristol. It's all about consistency for me in the second half of the season. We've got the players. We're going to need another couple. We're going to need a striker, probably another centre midfielder. But with the quality we've got, I just think if we up our levels even 10%, we should be good enough to get in them top two spaces. But you know, Christmas is a really busy period. We've got a lot of games coming up, and we can make some moves on the teams above us. But now it's that away form for me, because I think we're second in the home. If you had the table, I think Coventry got the most points and then us. It's the away games now that we're going to have to go to Millwall. We're going to have to go to Coventry. If we can get some points out of them games, then you've got your Oxfords and Pompey away. So look, 3 out of the next 4 away. See where we are come January. Obviously, Mark Ashton spoke in the week about they're going to be busy in the transfer window, which we're normally good, aren't we? We're normally good in January, making them moves. But I'd say we're still chugging along in probably about second gear, aren't we, at the minute? We've got more gears to go through, but if we can get up anywhere near sort of the potential of the side, I think we're going to look for them top 2 places. But it's just consistency is key for me, and just be lucky with injuries. You know, you need a bit of luck. I know we've got a big squad, but there's certain players that you'd want to keep fit, wouldn't you? But yeah, look, it is positive, but it was still a bit hard watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, you are right. It definitely was a hard watch, but yeah, like I said, we don't want to be just all doom and gloom. It was a good. We're in a good position now. Going into this even busier period. Yeah, right. I want to, like I mentioned earlier, we're into the end of the calendar year, the 2025. So I want to talk about a favourite player. It doesn't have to be who you think's the best player, but a favourite player from the 2025 calendar. So it can be a player from the previous season, obviously not with us anymore. Ian, I'll let you kick it off, please, mate. Who's been your favourite player this calendar year, 2025?
I think I'm probably going to go for someone in this season's squad, and that's probably going to be Asa Matasiwa. He came across as a relatively unknown from a French league. Concerns over his ability to transition to English football. Concerns over the loss of Sam Morsey, who we're going to replace him with. And I have to say, I'm Sam Morsey's probably number 1 fan, but Matasiwa, he's been outstanding in that position. I know he's had a couple of occasions when we've lost the ball, lost possession, and it's like, oh my gosh. But other than that, I think he's taken to English football really, really well. He's got that Morsey style, and he's also got that Morsey ability to carry cards as well, unfortunately. And how he avoided getting one on Sheffield Wednesday is beyond me. So that was great, because there would have been a straight 2-match ban. So yeah, I mean, for me, Asa Matasiwa.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see him actually on the team sheet, just because of the 2 important games we've got coming up. But he kept his own. I think he had a brilliant game. I saw he completed, I think, the most passes out of the whole team yesterday. So yeah, he obviously covers a lot of ground as well. So yeah, good shout. What about you, Rich? Your favourite player from 2025?
I'm going to go a bit left field. We go back to the Premier League, and it was pretty slim pickings, wasn't it, after Christmas? I'm going to go for a loan player we signed, Julio Enciso. I thought he was really good when he came in, Luke. He was one of them players where if you could have had him for a whole season, I think he could have made a difference. We signed him, and it was one of them sort of last throws of the dice, wasn't it? Because we were struggling. I think it was Southampton at home. I think that was his debut, and we obviously lost that game. But it'd frustrate me, I think, if I played with him, because there were certain times when he'd get in a good position and he'd shoot from about 45 yards, wasn't it? And then you think, blimey. But then you look at his goals reel from Brighton. He was there. I think he scored an absolute scream. I think it was Man City he scored. And the goal he scored at Goodison Park, I mean, it gets sort of under his feet a little bit. He's about 30 yards out, and he just pings it off the bar over England's number 1 goalkeeper. So, look, I liked him. I thought he was a good player. It's just a shame that we didn't see more of him. He got injured, didn't he? I think early on, at Villa away. But he's one of them players. He offered something a little bit different and a little bit of a maverick, maybe a little bit too individual at times. But I think, yeah, I really enjoyed watching him, because it was hard from January to the end of the season, because I think we only won 1 game, didn't we? I think the Bournemouth away game.
Bournemouth away, so,
yeah. So it was a struggle. So yeah, I'll go for Julio Enciso.
I like that. He only scores worldies, doesn't he? He only scores worldies. Yeah, brilliant player. He had a few injuries as well, didn't he, over that short spell with us, which I think obviously hampered his consistency in the team. But yeah, talented player, and hopefully he settles somewhere and has a good career, because he's definitely got the talent. Right. Well, before the new year is here, we've still got a game coming up, and it's Millwall Millwall away, which is never an easy place. Ian, we'll chuck it to you first, please, mate. Your score predictions and what you expect from the game.
Millwall were my prediction at the start of the season for who's your surprise package, and I said I think Millwall will be up there in the top 6, and they've been true to form on that one. So I was quite surprised to see him lose at the weekend to it was Hull, wasn't it? And they've been another surprise package. So for me, it's going to be interesting how they bounce back from that at the Den. It's not a great place to go. It can be quite intimidating. It's going to be Boxing Day, so maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be, I think the crowd are going to have a real effect on that game. And I would like to see us go there and come away with 3 points. It's going to be a close one, though. So I'm going to probably go for a 2-1 away win to Ipswich.
Okay. Like it. Rich, what do you expect from the game, mate? And what's your score predictions?
It was Blackburn, and they played yesterday away. Hull was the game before at home. They lost 3-1. I mean, if you've seen the goals yesterday, the second Blackburn goal, I mean, it's Keystone Cops defending. I mean, it's just a long throw, and he heads it past his keeper, the defender. Look, they've been up there the last couple of years, Millwall, and just sort of falling short. I think Alex Neil, that we know him well from obviously when his time at Norwich, I think he's a really good manager, Luke, at this level. And it's a tough place to go. I remember going there when we played back in the promotion season. It was Valentine's Day, and I've been to the Den quite a few times. I've never seen it so quiet. It's normally like hostile. You know what you get when you go into Millwall. I think it'll be pretty lively boxing. I think Town has sold out the away end, so it's a tricky one. But we need to go there and we need to show something because, like I said last week, I don't quite trust this team at the minute. We're still not quite sure what we're going to get, especially when we go on the road. Millwall's form at the minute is a little bit. They've dropped off a little bit. I think they've got a few injuries. They've got a couple of suspended, I think. So Town have got to go there, got to lay their marker down, and I think come away with the 3 points. 2-0 Town win.
2-0 and a clean sheet. Yeah, I think that would be. I think getting a clean sheet will also actually be important to try and get that back in because we've had quite a few clean sheets this season, and we want to obviously conceding against Sheffield Wednesday. We want to sort of get that back in motion. So that'll be good. Just a quick one. Who obviously Walton's done well coming into since Palmer's had his injury. Obviously Palmer's back fit now. We said about Walton will keep his shirt as long as he's performing. How do you think Walton's getting on, Ian? Do you think Palmer comes back in yet, or is it still Walton's shirt?
I don't think he's really made any mistakes. There's been a couple of really good saves as well. I think if you go on last season and the season before, McKenna set precedents with regards to merit in the number one position. So, for goalkeeping. I think Walton will keep that until he makes an absolute howler of a game. And then there'll be a change. It's not like with Muric where he was looking for an excuse to drop him because of all the off-field antics that were going on. Yeah, we won't mention driving licenses. But yeah, I think that, those in know. But I think he'll keep his place. He seems to be working well with Kipre and O'Shea. It's been the same triangle of the two centres and the goalkeeper now for several games on the bounce. We've not been changing between Jacob and that's key for goalkeeper. So you understand the players around you, and that's again the same with Davis and Furlong. He works well with them. I think his delivery of the ball is better as well. I think he's got a much more varied range of passing. Again, Palmer though I still rate was a really great goalkeeper, and we're just lucky we've got two starting goalkeepers in this team. I think he'll keep his position until something really kind of goes wrong.
Okay, what about you, Rich? You still sticking with Walton? You think he's still his shirt?
I'm signing Pierce Charles from Sheffield Wednesday. I liked him. On the flip side, I'm looking ahead a little bit because if we go to the Premier League and we all hope that we're going to be there, I think Walton and Palmer, I think we'll need a better goalkeeper because we see last time we haven't really got this position since Halagki because Halagki was so good with his feet, Luke. He came in that season and he wasn't, obviously when he came back to pre-season, he was going to be Walton's number 2. Then Walton has his injury and Halagki was great. I remember the touch away at Middlesbrough, he's about 40 yards out of his goal and he controls it out the air. And he was a great goalkeeper, but we've moved away from that a little bit. Goalkeepers with their feet, So looking ahead, I like Pierce Charles. I was speaking to some Wednesday fans online. There's a lot of clubs looking at him. The only thing with him He's good with his feet. He looked quite small to me.
Yeah.
So when you're in the Premier League, you need. We've spoke about like physical stature, and even with your goalkeeper, you need like Donnarumma. And I know we're talking of a world-class goalkeeper, but look at the size of him. So Walton at the minute, you don't need to change it. You just don't need to change it. Palmer just has to wait his chance. What I want from McKenna is next time when we're drawing a game in the last minute, Luke, and we get a corner, we need to do what Southampton done yesterday. Did you see what they done? Chucking the goalkeeper in over a corner twice when it's 1-0. I thought that's a little bit outside the box, isn't it? Do you think it's like one of them trends that somebody does it? Do you think other teams will take that on and think, right, I know they're playing against 10 men against Coventry, but it's thinking, right, we're on top here. Throw the goalkeeper in there. Interesting move.
That was I was just going to say that. I think maybe because they had 10 men, that might have been the reason. But yeah, that was pretty mad to see, especially twice. So, yeah, it was a bit bonkers. Obviously, you mentioned about the Wednesday keeper going in. If we do obviously make it up to the Premier League, James Trafford could possibly be a loan deal if we do go into the Premier League, because obviously he's not getting any minutes at City. We obviously expected to, so that would be a great bit of business if we do go up in the Premier League. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right, we're now on to the A to Z feature, and we're up to the letter K. So Ian, we'll go with you first, please, mate. Who or what is your letter K for Ipswich?
Yeah, there's a few Ks out there. I mean, this one's not strictly a surname, but the biggest kind of K I could think of is going to be Kevin Beattie, the Beat. He's become an icon, a legend, a myth, what kind of accolade you want to throw at him. The player who could have been the best English player ever born. He just never really managed to get it. And I was fortunate enough to see him play several occasions as a young lad. So, for me, Kevin Beattie, and quite rightly, we have a statue dedicated to him just outside the North Stand as well. So, Kevin Beattie.
Like it, yeah. What a legend. Rich, what about yourself, mate?
I'm going back to when I was a youngster, Luke, which was a long time ago, by the way. This player, look, 91-92 is always one of my favourite seasons as a town fan. It was the first time I think I'd ever seen us do anything. We won the league, obviously. Chris Kiwomya, for me, I always remember as a youngster, he always had really shiny legs. He put like oil on his legs, and he was quick. I think he played over 250 games for town, scored over 60 goals. He was top scorer in that season. Then he moved to Arsenal. He's been at town. He was part of the coaching team when we were in the Premier League struggling. And I always see him, he's down there now. He's one of them players. I mean, Ipswich is such a great family club, Luke, that I think when players are older, I think we look after them well. And they just want to come back and they support the club. I see him out when I went to the Wardley fight in the summer. I see him out with at the Arcade Tavern afterwards with Dazelle. And I mean, they caused havoc, I think, back in the 90s, and they were out in town when Hollywoods was about. Look, you don't remember that. There was a nightclub. I think they went up there. I was reading in Jason Dazelle's book. I think there was a cake ended up in someone's face, and John Lyle made both of them. They had to go and apologise. I think it was in the East Anglian. They had to present the person with some flowers or anything. But yeah, Kiwomya, I loved him as a youngster growing up, and Chris Kiwomya for me.
Like it. And I do think you're right. Ipswich tend to look up. A lot of old players come back, don't they? And then go to the games and around the club a lot. And I think that shows, and credit to the club that they have that environment for all the.
Okay, come on, it's Christmas time.
Well, as it's Christmas, Rich, I'll give you one, mate. Sheffield Wednesday for me. The flying fin, the celebration. I mean, I don't know how many ribs that geezer's broke, but he was brilliant, wasn't he? He'd score a goal, you'd see him jump up in the air and absolutely flatten the ground. It was, brilliant to see.
I think he was here yesterday, when we were talking about it.
Was he?
I think if he Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't he?
Yeah, that is true. But I loved him. I love that era as well. I know, obviously, I'm not quite as long as the tooth as you two boys, but I like that era. That was my younger years. The old Pablo Cunyago, Darren Ben, Sheffield Wednesday, that sort of the power gen era, I call it. Remember that one, Rich?
We had no problems with number 9 then, did we?
Yeah. I remember Joe Royal obviously signing him. I went to I think it was Watford away. We signed him. He signed on the Friday, and he was literally playing on the Saturday. Come on, scored. I think Joe Roll said once about him, boys, it was he would chase a crisp packet because he was one of them players, weren't he? He'd never give you a second, and he was a good player. He played I think he played in the Premier League, didn't he? I think he was at Blackburn, Newcastle. Yeah, great celebration. Still don't know to this day how he does it. Don't try that at home, kids. Do not try that celebration at home.
Yeah. Please do not. We're not saying to try that celebration. It's no, definitely not. I would say for players of recent years, he's a bit Liam Delap-esque. Maybe not as quick as Liam Delap, but he definitely used to work hard and he used to score them types of goals. So yeah, I'd say that's sort of Liam Delap-esque. But yeah, without the big old celebration. So yeah, I like that. Right. Now we are finishing with Tweet of the Week, which is actually a news article that a very, very lovely Rich sent us over in the group chat. And I loved it so much that I thought, actually, I'm going to use that as Tweet of the Week. And I think it kind of really does show how the fan base are feeling. And it's one or the other. And it is the title reads, "Are Ipswich finding their feet or a team in crisis?" And I really do think that sums up the fan base. We don't know what to think, do we, Ian? What side of the coin are you on?
And like we spoke about this before, didn't we? About crisis is a really strong word. We are frustrated as a fan base because we know what we're capable of. We're frustrated as a fan base because we've seen the money that's spent. We're frustrated as a fan base because we've seen the players that we've brought and we know what they're capable of. And it's trying to, you can give me the best guitar in the world and just not getting a tune out of it. And we need to really start we might need help. I don't know. Is it any coincidence when Grant left to go to Huddersfield, the coaching side, that things change? I don't know. There's something that just isn't getting the best out of the players we've got right now. And I'm certainly not in the camp of, well, McKenna's got a couple of weeks and he's out, because in McKenna we trust. But that we have got the tools to win this division. There's no doubt about that. Although that said, I think every Ipswich fan probably questioned the bookies when at the start of the season said we're favourites to win this. We're like, well, I don't know about that. And because I think we knew that there were a couple of problems that needed to be sorted out in the style of play. But yeah, so I would say we're not in crisis, but there is certainly some frustrations to be addressed.
What about you, Rich? Obviously, the start of the line is about a team settling. McKenna's started to pick a more regular settled team now. Do you believe that is our strongest team? And do you think we're more settled, or do you think it's crisis time?
I don't. Yeah, it's not. Crisis is a bit of a strong headline, isn't it? It makes you sit up and want to read it. And obviously, these people, they know what they're doing, don't they, when they put these headlines out? But we're spluttering a little bit, aren't we? If it's like a car on a cold and frosty morning when you used to have your chokey and you have to get your choke out, and it's sort of getting it going. And we know what we're capable of. We've seen flashes of it. And it does talk in that article about obviously like the striker with Delap going, and I still think that's the key position. If we can fill that in January, get someone who can score some goals, I think, like I said there earlier, I think it's just them levels, Luke. If we can raise them 10, 15%, we've more than capable of getting out of this league, and it probably won't be as exciting as it was last time when we got out, and it was because we hadn't been in the Premier League for so long, and it was exciting when there was people who like my kids had never seen us play in the Premier League, and I did say to them at the start of the season that'll probably be as good as it gets for a long while watching Town, and it's going to be a different it'll be a different feel come May if we do get out. It won't be that euphoria, I don't think, that it was before, and the Town was awash on that day against Huddersfield. It'll still be exciting because, as a football fan, surely you want your team to get promotion, don't you? But I think it'll be a different feel. It'll still be good, but you'll think, yeah, this is maybe not quite as good as last time. But then you have to look that we're the big hitters. Like Ian said there, we came into this season as favourites, and that puts a target on your back for a start, and it puts a bit of pressure on yourself because I don't think we're used to that. We were the underdog, weren't we? And now everyone's thinking, oh, yeah, Ipswich, they've spent X amount. And that's what always comes up when I heard Lampard after we beat Coventry, and he says, oh, yeah, parachute team. It's a line that they chuck out there, and, Championship All-Stars is another one with all these players that we've signed. So it's just, maybe getting your head around that as a player, that yeah, you've got to raise your levels a little bit, and I think we'll be okay. You know, it's just at the minute it's a bit of a struggle, but like I say, we're third in the table, so I don't think we should be overly critical at the minute, because time to really judge is it's going to be in May, isn't it? At the end of the season, when in the shake-up, and if we're in the top two, then I think we'll all be happy, but a different kind of happy.
Yeah. I think your mind will quickly go on to the next season, because then it will be like, right, we actually, it's not good. I think last time we were in the Prem, it was a bit of a, we'll see what happens. If we go down, we go down sort of thing. Well, I don't think that'll be the attitude this time round, will it? It'll be, no, we need to try and actually sustain and do it, especially seeing what the new promoted things are doing.
In the week, I think they had the, was it the PLC meeting they had in?
Yeah.
And they're talking about 40,000 stadium, you know, and if you
no, I mean, the plan is always to, the plan is to establish as a Premier League team.
Exactly.
It was a 5-year plan, which is in 2 years' time. So in 2 years' time, we need to have the 40,000 seater and established. So and like you say, looking at Sunderland, they're 7th in the table, I think. So we need to be looking at that.
Definitely. No, thank you very much, boys. Appreciate your time as always. And thank you, everybody, for watching at home. Please like and subscribe, and please get involved in the comments talking all things Ipswich.
Merry Christmas.